Hello dear students, welcome back. Today we are going to take up a new chapter of our book, chapter number 4, Heat. In this chapter, we are going to learn about a form of energy which we call it as a heat, how the heat present in a particular object is measured, and how the heat energy is transferred from one object to another. So we are going to take up this chapter by dividing it into two parts. So today in this video class, we are going to take up the first part of this chapter. When we see in our surrounding, we see different types of objects. Some of the objects are hot, while some of the objects are cold. So the hotness or the coldness of an object can be sensed by the help of a sense organ present in our body, that is, the skin. But we cannot always rely on the sense of the skin for testing the hotness or the coldness of an object. There are some objects which are very hot and that our skin cannot feel, or we are not able to touch that object. If a particular object is very hot and if we touch that object, it may cause burn to our body. Because of that reason, we does not rely all the time on our sense of skin for testing the hotness or the coldness of an object. A reliable measure of the hotness of an object is its temperature. The temperature is measured by the help of a device known as thermometer. There are different types of thermometer that we use in our day-to-day life for different purposes. In order to test our body temperature, we use the clinical thermometer. In order to test the hotness or the coldness of a particular object and non-living object, we use the laboratory thermometer. And if we try to measure the temperature of the atmosphere, or if we try to measure the maximum and the minimum temperature of a particular day of the atmosphere, then we use another type of thermometer known as maximum and minimum thermometer. So now, in today's class, we are going to learn about the clinical thermometer and the laboratory thermometer in depth and how they are used for measuring the temperature of our body or any other objects. So let us see one by one. Let us first take out the clinical thermometer. A clinical thermometer is a simple device that is used for measuring the body temperature of the human being. The clinical thermometer is made up of a hollow cylindrical tube of glass. And inside it, there will be presence of a capillary, a small tube, which is used to connect with a bulge structure known as a bulb. The bulb is fitted with mercury. On the side of this thermometer, there is a presence of markings. The marking is from 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius. The temperature of a normal human body, on average, it is 37. The body temperature does not go below 35 or above 42. Because of this reason, the clinical thermometer has a marking from 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius. Near to the bulb, there is a presence of a constriction portion, which is known as a kink. The kink prevents the flow back of the mercury present inside the thermometer when it is removed out from the mouth of the patient or from the mouth of a person. Now, let us see how the clinical thermometer can be used for measuring the temperature of the human body and what are the precautions that we have to take. Before using the thermometer should be sanitized properly, should be washed properly, especially with an antiseptic solution. It is done in order to kill or in order to remove out the dirt or the germs that is present sticking on the body of the thermometer. Before putting the thermometer in the mouth of a person, we should check properly whether the mercury level is below 35 degrees or not. If it is not below 35 degrees, then we have to apply a jerk so that the mercury present in this capillary tube will pass inside the bulb and it will not be above 35 degrees Celsius. After the mercury level goes below 35 degrees Celsius, then it can be put in the mouth of the person or in the mouth of a patient. We have to keep for 1 or 2 minutes. After that, when we after removing out the thermometer, we have to read the thermometer by keeping the level of the mercury at the side of the eye. If we keep down or above, we may be having a wrong reading. So in order to get a correct reading, we have to give the level of the mercury at the side of the eye. After that, the thermometer should be again sanitized. One other important thing is that when the thermometer is put in the mouth, the person should not talk. It is because while talking, a pressure may be applied on the glass of the thermometer, which may break the thermometer, and the mercury present in it will be spilled out. If it enters inside the body, internal body, then it may kill the person also. While discussing about the clinical thermometer, you have to remember the importance of this king. The king, it is present near the bulb of the thermometer. This king doesn't allow the flow back of the mercury in the bulb when it is taken out from the mouth of the person in order to record the correct reading of the temperature. So this is all about the clinical thermometer. Now let us come to the laboratory thermometer. Laboratory thermometer is another type of thermometer which is used for measuring the temperature of non-living objects. The laboratory thermometer have a long tube, cylindrical tube, just like that of the clinical thermometer. But in this laboratory thermometer, there is no presence of king, and the marking on the side wall of the thermometer is more than the clinical thermometer. In the laboratory thermometer, the marking is from minus 10 degrees Celsius up to 110 degrees Celsius. These markings are present at the side of the tube. Like that of the clinical thermometer, in this laboratory thermometer also there is a presence of a capillary which is connected with the bulb where mercury is fitted. In a thermometer, mercury is used because the mercury doesn't stick on the wall of the thermometer. Because of that, we can get a clear reading of the temperature of an object or of a person. Instead of mercury, if we use other substances, then those substances used to stick on the wall of the thermometer. Because of that, we are not able to get a clear reading of the temperature. Now, let us see how this laboratory thermometer should be used and what are the precautions to be taken up while measuring a temperature of an object by using laboratory thermometer. So, let us take an example that we are going to measure the temperature of a boiling water. So, for that, we are going to fix the thermometer on a stand. We are not going to touch. And one other important thing is that doesn't matter whether it's a clinical thermometer or a laboratory thermometer, while measuring the temperature, we should not touch the bulb of the thermometer. We should always hold on the other part of the thermometer. So now, in order to measure the temperature of a boiling water, we are going to dip the thermometer in the water. While dipping, only the bulb of the thermometer should touch the water. The other portion of the thermometer should not be dipped inside the boiling water. Another thing is that the bulb should not touch the side wall. When the bulb of the thermometer is dipped in the water, at that time, the mercury, after absorbing the heat from the water, the level of the mercury will rise up. We have to wait up to the time till the level of the mercury becomes steady. After it becomes steady only, we have to record the temperature of the water or of any type of substance. We should not record the reading of the thermometer when the level of the mercury is still rising. It should be recorded once the level of the mercury becomes steady. After that, we have to record the level of the mercury or the reading of the thermometer by keeping the eyesight at the level of the temperature or at the level of the thermometer. We should not look at an inclined angle. This and this we should not follow. We should keep our eyesight at the level of the mercury. And this recording of the temperature by using a clinical thermometer should be done by keeping the bulb of the mercury intact with the object for which we are going to measure the temperature. We should not record the reading by removing out. It is because in case of the laboratory thermometer, there is no king. Because of that, as soon as we remove out the thermometer from that object, as soon as we break the contact between the thermometer and the object, the level of the mercury used to fall down. Because of this reason, we have to record the reading of the temperature by keeping the thermometer in contact with the object for which we are going to measure the temperature. So these are some of the things that we have to discuss related to the laboratory thermometer. So as told before that, there is one another type of thermometer that we use in our day-to-day life, and that is maximum and minimum thermometer. The maximum and the minimum thermometer is used to measure the minimum temperature of a day as well as the maximum temperature of that particular day. So this minimum and the maximum thermometer is used to measure the temperature of the day. These are all manual thermometers. Nowadays, we can find digital thermometers in the market. The digital thermometers used to show the reading of the temperature of a particular object in the form of digits, in the digital form. So these are the things that we discuss in today's class. So in the next class, we are going to learn about the transfer of heat energy from one object to another object. So for today, let us wind up here, dear students. Thank you.